Hey guys, it's Nick, and in this video I want to talk about Warren Buffett and the stocks that he just bought that he announced in his 13F filing. And the two major stocks are Chevron and Verizon. And so I'm going to look at them right now and talk about which one is the better one, or if they're both good. And if you're looking for a dividend stock, should you buy either of these stocks? Now, before I start, I just want to have a disclaimer. I already own both of these stocks. I think I own a few less shares than Warren Buffett does, but still I own them. So assume anything I say here is biased, and I want the stocks to go up, of course. What's strange about these two purchases, though, is that Warren Buffett was supposed to announce these purchases in the third quarter on the 13F filing because he started buying them in the third quarter. But he didn't want to tip his hand to the market, and so he got an exemption that he didn't have to file these for the third quarter, and so he filed them for the fourth quarter. So what you're seeing in the fourth quarter was not all bought in the fourth quarter. Some of it was bought in the third quarter. So here you see he bought about $8.6 billion of Verizon and about $4 billion of Chevron. Now, out of his total holdings is about $270 billion. So these are not huge. You know, there's like Verizon's maybe like 3%, and Chevron is maybe 1.5% of his total. So not huge, but significant. So Barron's talks about this mystery that people were questioning what he was going to buy because they knew about his confidential purchases. And so there was speculation on what company he was buying. People didn't realize it was basically two big holdings that he acquired in this time. And so just a quick look at Verizon. It says they're trading 10 times estimated 2021 earnings and yields 4.6%. And Chevron yields currently 5.6%. So if you're looking for passive income, good dividend stocks, are these two stocks good stocks to hold? Let's start with Chevron. And like I said, I already own it. I did a video back in October about energy stocks and that they're getting cheap and, you know, they're good value, but they're up a lot from the bottom. I mean, look at Chevron was $50 for a few seconds. But recently it's been, you know, in the 70s, 80s or whatever, but now it's up to like $95, and recent highs, you know, a few years ago, was 135. So, you know, it's not cheap, it's not expensive, but I think it has a good dividend. And if you want some good dividend stocks, it's definitely a good stock to hold. But personally, if Chevron gets up probably to 105 or 110 or something, I might look at maybe lightening up on it or getting out of it totally. As for oil prices and Chevron, oil prices are up, but a lot of it is up, I don't know, on speculation, maybe on these cold fronts, the stories in the news about all these polar vortex in Texas and all that kind of stuff. But the reality is there's a lot of oil out there, and OPEC, you know, they agreed to cut back on production. So that means potentially if it gets up to the price that they like, they can just start pumping again and bring the prices down. I don't think they're going to do that anytime soon, but you know, the demand is definitely not as strong as it was a year ago for sure, and so that could kind of pour some cold water on the story of the rebound for the oil stocks if demand does not come back like people think it will, or if the price just gets too high and, like I said, OPEC comes and starts selling more. Both of those things could have a dampening effect on Chevron and other oil stocks. So yeah, there could be some fluctuations going forward, but if you're in Chevron already and, you know, a little lower where the dividend yield is maybe like 7% based on where you got in, it's a good stock to hold for the long term and just collect those fat dividends. There's not a lot of alternatives that are that great in the market that have that kind of dividend for a legitimate, big, safe kind of company. So let's take a look at Verizon now. Verizon is a very range-bound stock. And I bought it recently just because it dipped around $55, and it's very range bound between the mid 50s and the low 60s or something like that. And if you go back 20 years, 21 years on this chart, you'll see that this high, 62,295 in 1999, still has not been reached 22 years later. It's 7 cents short here. So you're not going to get rich buying Verizon stock, although there may be some headwinds in terms of 5G, but don't expect that it's some stock that's going to double every year or even go up 20% every year. It's probably not. But with a 4.6% dividend, it's a pretty safe stock to hold and get cash if that's the kind of investment that you're looking for. And so that's one of the reasons I just bought it recently. But realistically, again, this thing is very range bound. And if it were to get back up to $60 pretty quickly, I would probably ring the cash register and look for something else as well. So comparing those two, I would say that Chevron is the better stock, or probably has the more potential for appreciation in terms of the price, whereas they're both good, solid dividend stocks that you can hold in your portfolio for a long time and not lose any sleep at night over them. And if Verizon doesn't bounce too much tomorrow morning on this Warren Buffett news, I would say it's probably the better stock to get into at these levels, whereas Chevron is already up a good amount from much lower levels. So a lot of the run is already, kind of taken out of it. And that's part of the reason why Warren Buffett had that confidential third quarter filing where he didn't have to mention these things, because he wanted to accumulate them a lot cheaper and not notify people and have them pile in. But now that he's, I guess, bought all he wants to buy, now he's basically advertising it to the world and hoping that everybody jumps in after him. And that's never a good way to buy stocks, usually chasing somebody else or chasing it after it's gone up a lot. So I would have a little caution on Chevron. Like I said, if it goes another 10, 15 points higher from here, I'd probably be a seller. Verizon is probably a better price right now, but the potential for Verizon, 10, 15% from here within a year maybe, and I would be looking to sell it as well. So that's my look at Buffett's 2 new stock picks. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment below and let me know which stock you think is the better buy right now, Chevron or Verizon. Thanks for watching, guys.